You have a course idea and you're excited to share it with people, so you grab a blank sheet of paper to start brainstorming how you're going to put this course together, and then this happens. Outlining and structuring your course is one of the most important steps to get right because everything in your course depends on it. We're going to go in depth on what to do and what not to do when structuring and outlining your course. Let's get into it. Hello creators, I'm Ben Tolson from Podia, where we empower creators like you to make a living doing what you love. In today's video, we want to help you get over one of the biggest hurdles to starting the process of making your online course. Deciding what to teach, how to structure your content, and how to outline your course can be daunting, but I'm going to give you a clear path and some helpful pointers so you can make your very best course. Outlining a course can be broken down into 3 parts: identifying the end goal, bridging the gap, and choosing the best mediums. We're going to take these parts one at a time. Before we do anything else, we want to identify the end goal. The first step to figuring out the end is to figure out the beginning. Hang with me here. For this, we're going to ask 2 questions. Who is my course for? This question is really important because it helps us understand the person for whom we're trying to create a result. How do they relate to the subject of your course? What skills do they already have? And what do they already know? Question number 2 is, what are they currently struggling with or experiencing? This question helps us understand where they are starting on their journey with you. What is this person struggling with? What are the gaps in their knowledge? What is missing from their life without having taken your course? Now that we understand the beginning, it'll be easier for us to figure out what a good ending point would be. The question you want to ask here is, what end result do I want to create for my student? When answering this question, we want to keep a couple of important things in mind. Don't overdo it. One of the biggest mistakes course creators make is to try to teach their students everything they know about a specific topic. Instead of being helpful, this is actually overwhelming and can leave your students feeling more frustrated. I can't stress enough how important it is to get this part right. And to do that, we're going to ask 3 questions. How much material can you realistically teach? You've got to understand your own limits. Sure, you might be able to make a 100-hour online course about your topic, but that could take you ages to make. What's a reasonable amount of information for you to teach? How much material can your students realistically learn? Most students are coming to you with a specific goal in mind. It's not like college classes where they expect to spend an entire semester with you. And most people aren't going to be able to learn a semester's worth of info in a short amount of time. Can your main topic be broken down into subtopics? Rather than cover the full scope of what you know, could you zoom in and choose a subtopic that can still produce results for your student? Get more specific. Getting more specific is a great strategy for making your course manageable. But Ben, my students won't learn as much from me if I don't tell them everything. I understand your concern, but think about the alternative. If your student is overwhelmed with too much information, they may not get any results from taking your course. It's better for your student to have success with a relatively small goal than to fail trying to learn everything you know. When you get specific, you're more likely to be able to deliver on the result, and the result is more tangible and much easier to sell. Use the course outline template. Now that we understand who we're creating our course for, where they are now, and what end result we want to create for them, we're going to break the end result down into manageable steps. To help us do this, we're going to use Podia's free course outline template. If you'd like to follow along, the link is below in the description. Write down the who and the what at the top of your outline before we move on to our next step. Now it's time to bridge the gap. Think about where your student is now and the end result you'd like to create as opposite banks of a river. What major milestones will they need to achieve to arrive on the other side of the bridge? As you think of these major steps, write each of them down in its own module box. Make sure each of these steps encompasses a unique aspect of your course. Now it's time to break the modules down into individual lessons. In this step, it's important to find the right granularity. If the lesson's too specific, your student could get bored and have trouble staying engaged. If it's not specific enough, your student could miss an important step and not achieve the desired result. If one of your modules could be easily broken down into sections with their own separate steps, it's a good idea to turn those sections into individual lessons. As you choose your lessons, write them down in the spaces next to their corresponding module. Our last step is to choose which mediums are best for each piece of course content. There are many different ways to present the information, but the most important question to consider is this medium the best way for my student to achieve the result I promise? You also have to think about how students learning about your specific topic tend to learn best. Which medium does the best job of making the information clear, and what mediums are most accessible for your students? With that in mind, I'll talk briefly about the pros and cons of each. Video. Video is the most engaging. It's a multi-sensory experience that can captivate the viewer. It builds the strongest relationship between the student and the teacher because the student can see you, or at the very least, hear your voice. Video can be very time-consuming to create, and the equipment to produce quality video can be a big investment. Still, for most course creators, having some type of video content is a must-have. Audio. Audio content is the easiest to consume because students can take the content on the go or listen to it while they're doing other tasks. Think podcasts or audiobooks. Your student could be learning from you while doing the dishes or going for an evening run. It is easier to get distracted while listening to audio only. Also, while audio is less expensive to produce than video, it's still really important to have good quality, and the equipment you'll need to achieve that can be somewhat expensive. PDF guides. PDF guides are easier and less expensive to produce than video or audio. It's also easier for students to go back to and reference. A PDF worksheet can help walk students through doing the work, whether you use checklists, quizzes, or a specific framework you've created. You can also use charts and graphs to enhance the learning experience. With PDFs, because the student can't hear your voice or see your face, they won't be as engaged or connected with you. Text. This is the easiest to produce for creators that are comfortable with writing. It's also the least expensive because it doesn't require additional tools or skills. Text is the least engaging form of content, and writing well can take some practice. Still, it can be a great medium if you're just starting out or if you determine it would be the most beneficial for your student. Now, instead of a blank sheet of paper or stacks upon stacks of scribbled nonsense, you've got this clean, clear, structured outline that will tell you exactly what you need to do to bring your course to life. Take a deep breath with me. If you were feeling stuck before, I hope this video has given you the tools and the motivation you need to get rolling on your course. Who are you making a course for? What problem will your course solve? Leave your answers in the comments below. If you found this video useful and want more relevant content like this, click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can be the first to know when we post a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.